Thank you very much, Mark, for giving me opportunity to interview you for my YouTube channel and podcast.
Yep, good. Thank you. Tell me about your podcast and what exciting things should we talk about?
So I've gone through your profile. I can see you're doing a lot of work. So I thought to tell about your work to my audience. I actually take interviews of experts from all around the world. More than 100 countries experts came to my show and participated on my show and said about the work that they are doing.
Yep.
So I requested you also to be on my show so that you can share what you're doing. If that inspires one person anywhere on this planet, you will be the inspiration for them.
Good. Well, I guess I can start by, of course, getting on the internet and getting into the whole wellness spa, med spa world, and it's become such a big thing now. And I started back in the beginning when social media was going on, and by Google My Business and those kind of things, I got on, and it was like number one, number two, number one, and right in the area for the but I've slowly evolved into more of the fitness, the wellness, and then, of course, nowadays it's worldwide after the pandemic with mental health and how important it is to everywhere around the world. And the thing, I had pulled up some information on defining wellness, and of course, from India, Ayurveda is 3,000 to 1,000 BC, so it's been around from before times, and also traditional Chinese medicine, the country next door to you. So wellness has been important throughout the world. So, but I guess in our 20th century, since we've been talking about it, the word wellness comes from, well, it's been around before, but Albert L. Dunn wrote a book called High Level Wellness, and that was in the 1950s, and then Dan Rather, of course, brings out the word on wellness back in 60 Minutes. So it's been around decades here in the United States, but now it's more so ever than before how wellness is important with Ayurveda, that kind of stuff, but wellness tourism, and people need the wellness and people need the mental health. Everywhere around the world we have challenges around the world. So anyway, it's more than ever needed, and I enjoy tweeting about it and putting out articles about it all day, and I'm kind of like a little bit behind times because I have not done enough personal content about wellness or about spa or medical, that kind of stuff, because I haven't done any videos. I've only done 2 little short videos on my mini website, but I haven't gotten really into like blogging and podcasts like you do. So you're way advanced of me, because I still get up every morning. I do it at 5, 6 in the morning. I still get up and do all my tweets and of the last 24 hours of what's been happening in the wellness and the fitness, the gym, that kind of thing all around the world. So that things that I put out there, but I don't write. I just curate the information. I don't write the articles. So, but now I have to get more into producing it and doing podcasts like you and that kind of stuff. So that's the snippet of what I'm doing nowadays.
So you are called as Mark the Spa Man.
Right, Mark the Spa-Man. It's markthespaman.com, and it's my Twitter name. But like I mentioned, I haven't gotten onto Twitter or TikTok and make short little videos and everything. I was just reading about an article today that Google is now 25 years old, and now the algorithms and the search things are all by videos. The next generation is searching through videos. So they're not searching for keywords and that kind of stuff. So that's a big difference in what the old stuff was. But every decade, every new generation has new stuff coming. So I was telling a friend of mine this morning, we were talking at the Starbucks, that I grew up in Bolivia in South America. So back then, I feel like a time traveler, because back then it was, growing up with radio. It was no jet airplanes. It was propeller airplanes. And anytime you had to make a call, our phone number was only 4 digits. But anytime you had to make a call, you had to go to a ham radio operator to make a call to the United States via radio. So I just feel like I've been time traveling all this time till today, where it's like podcasts, it's videos, and everything on the internet, and we live, intermittent. I don't know how to say it. Seamlessly from VR. There's a VR club here, VR fitness club now here, right here in Dallas. I put on an electrical muscle suit for electrical muscle stimulation. So all these different things, all these new different technologies here. It's just really interesting. It's fascinating because, as I mentioned, I just feel like a time traveler because anyway, but you have to continue to move forward. We can't be stuck in the past. Things will always keep changing. Every decade, every couple of years, everything new. So the next generation is ready and moving in. That kind of thing. So I just feel good and lucky that we're still alive and we still move forward, and all the new things happening in the world. So keep moving.
So what service you provide?
Well, actually, currently I just got a new job with more medical, so I'm actually working with Medicare and that kind of stuff with patients, and my new job I just started 2 weeks ago, and I actually go and bring new patients in. I bring to create events and that kind of thing for Oak Street Health, which is, earlier this year was of healthcare. So it's actually paying attention and keeping people away from the hospital, and actually more like a complete wellness part. So that's what was interesting for me. But prior to this, I was doing med spa, and then anything to do with, of course, I love doing intranet, anything to do with marketing and that kind of thing. So my past has been varied, but always my main theme is wellness spa, med spa, mental health, those kinds of things.
So you create content and you also provide services on the internet.
Well, not yet. I haven't recently, and I used to do a lot more, the social media, that kind of stuff, but now I don't have any outside clients. I now work full-time in the more medical world, so that's what I'm concentrating on right now. So I'm not doing providing other services, and I know I need to get into more content creation about myself, because currently what I do on Twitter is hours and find out what's happening in the world, around the world on mental health, wellness, med spa, that kind of stuff, fitness. And I put out the stories, but I don't create the content. So like you, I need to become more of a content creator, content and podcast, that kind of stuff, to like go, hey, I'll interview you. And your people on your side. So
what is spa? What do you do?
Well, obviously, as far as sanita, the original word is sanitas per aqua, meaning health through water, and it's actually a physical location in Belgium, but that was hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, where there was a spa. So it's a place like in ancient Greece where the houses were spas. They had spas there. The people who had money and wealth, the water and all that kind of fun stuff around the Greeks and the whole thing, massage, all that kind of fun stuff, because massage is one of the oldest, I guess I would say, professions, if you want to call it that, for around the world. So people always, in the times of Jesus, people always massaged, and it's, Mary Magdalene massaging Jesus's feet, stuff like that. That's been around thousands of years, but now it's much more involved into, obviously the medical spa, with all the aesthetics, that kind of thing, but also it's much more into the word wellness, so it's like everything wellness. Everything is around. It's not just one little piece of it, but like that you go to the spa. But I guess, what would you say, what is wellness? And it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, environmental wellness. So all those different things, those 6 different words fall under the word wellness, and it's multidimensional, so anything can be. You can have financial wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, social wellness. So it's a big word now. So anyway, but that's my take on it. That it's also now after the pandemic and everything with mental health and all the apps that are going helping people cope with our problems or with our challenges. Instead of saying problems, our challenges around the world, and every country has them. So hopefully we can make better decisions and keep moving forward.
So, what is before spa and after spa?
Well, as I mentioned, I think the word spa is now big, much bigger than ever before, and it falls under the wellness umbrella. But I guess the word spa is, like I mentioned, is something that's super old, but it's business. It's going to a place, to a spa. It's going to a resort spa. It's going to medical spa. So there's all these different kinds of things, and it's around the world, and all these resorts in India, or all the places all over the world where you go to a weekend retreat, you go to a spa, But the word spa is under the wellness umbrella, and it just means so much nowadays.
So what is the change that happens after spa?
Well, that's the thing. That spa is just not. It's a place you go to, but to me, the umbrella thing is the umbrella word over spa is, of course, wellness, because it's physical, meaning you're nourishing a healthy body through exercise, nutrition, sleep. And then it's mental, as in mental health, engaging the world through learning, problem solving, creativity. And then emotional, because we're accepting and expressing our feelings and understanding of others in how we live in this world. And then, of course, with Ayurveda and Chinese medicine and everything, there's a spiritual part of it, meaning the higher purpose of human existence. And then, of course, social, it's connecting and engaging with others in our community that we have, my neighbor next door, the people I see at Starbucks, that kind of stuff. And then environmental is fostering positive interrelationships between planetary health and human actions. So it's like environmental, meaning on the larger scale. So to me, that's like a key word, but it's part of the whole big thing, the whole big wellness umbrella, I guess, what I keep saying.
So what kind of services, that you provide and the clients that expects from you?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm not working with outside clients anymore. So right now I work for a medical health company, and through that it's my full-time job, but I'm not doing individual clients. So, but before I did social media for other people and for other companies. So you arrange on the prior company, for example, I would do a calendar by the year, and I would separate out by season. So I did fall for charity, spring clean, and then divide everything up and then come up with stories and put out social media. But it was more than 5 years ago I did that, and it was done manually. So there wasn't any videos or that kind of stuff of me doing anything, but it was just me putting out information on social media so people could see it. And I would write an article on how to clean yoga pants, and it got shared over 80 times. The article's still up there that I wrote about how to clean yoga pants. So funny things like that you put out there so that people will see what you have and that kind of thing. But as I mentioned, I did have other clients, in the past, but currently I'm not working with clients or that kind of stuff. Currently my full-time job is separate.
Yeah, what is your full-time job, which is medical industry?
Yes, so it's more medical health. So so I'm going as a community relationship manager. So I go out into I'm working with 2 different areas here in the Dallas area. So I work with the community people. I'm going to senior citizens, churches, different use our clinics, because we have 9 here in the Dallas area. So I'm going to help to set up the events and those kind of things, so we communicate the message about our clinics to the Dallas population. The elderly people who are on Medicare, so that means up to 65 years and older. So I'll be doing that from now on, is to figure out going to all these events and how to get to the people. Well, I mean, last week we went to a senior housing location, and then prior to that to charity events, those kind of things, so I can see the people there and talk to them about our health clinic. 9 in the Dallas area. Mm-hmm.
So the people that you meet, which profession they belong to?
So it's more traditional healthcare. So we have providers, nurses, doctors, and those kind of things that we work with at the clinic that are employed by the clinic. And my job is, as a community relationships manager, is to go bring those patients in to our clinic. So we take good care of people, and we do it as a way that it's keep people away from the hospital. It's not paid per fee. So we have like a wellness. It's under the wellness umbrella where we keep you well. We don't want you to go to the hospital. Maybe you might need to come in every week or something like that. Modern medicine is that we try to keep you well, not just necessarily, give you painkillers or something like that, but it's actually keeping you well.
So what kind of problems that you usually listen from people?
I'm not the individual provider, so it's not me that they come talk to. But as I said, I'm doing all the more marketing and that kind of stuff. So I try to get the events set up, and the people come to see me. And it's about public relations and talking to them and saying all these good things about our clinic. Well, as I said, there's 9 clinics in the DFW area.
So communicating with different people, how is that experience?
It's interesting because you need to talk and actually listen to the people. So you need to listen to what their needs are and how our clinic will fit into their needs. And it's obviously very good because it's not just pay per fee, that kind of thing. It's not just about giving you a pill, but it's actually taking good care of the person. The whole wellness hospital,
And how your job is impacting your mental health?
It's good because I myself like all the massage. I do massage therapy. That's fine. So I go to the sauna. I like all those things. So I remember that I need to follow the guidelines for wellness also for my personal self. So that it's not just about only work, but it's also about you taking care of that. I do yoga. I used to do yoga before the pandemic 3 times a week, and right now it's only 1 time a week. But now I started walking, like over here next door near me, there's the Dallas Theological Seminary, and it's a big campus, and I can go walk around barefooted. So to walk around and be on the grass, that kind of stuff. So just all the wellness things that you have to do personally for your personal wellness. And that's how I can sell the personal wellness to other people. So it's not, I guess, selling, but it's also teaching and
So in the process of your job, or in the process of the work that you're doing, have you ever thought by yourself why human body needs a physical body needs feelings, emotions, and thoughts?
That's a very good question, but I think it's part of being, of course, a human experience, because as a human, we feel all those things, we understand all those things, and that's why I keep saying that wellness is a big umbrella, that all these things have to happen before you become happy. And you look at it every day, every hour. You have to eat right every 3 times a day, 2 or 3 times a day, fasting, all those kinds of things. It's things that you do every minute, every month, every hour. We have to think good thoughts. You don't want to be depressed or those kind of things, so we have to think good thoughts. Keep it all under the wellness umbrella, if you want to call it. I keep saying that, but that's the thing is you have to look at the big picture.
You see different people from different places who belongs to different industries, and everybody is a human eventually, and everybody has the same kind of a body and same kind of a metabolism.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought that why this is there in human being, and who is created this? Why this is happening in this way only?
Well, if like I mentioned before, it's been around for thousands of years, and if you go back to the history of wellness, in Ayurveda, 3000 BC, before Christ, so it's not something that I invented now. It's not something that we invented 100 years ago. It's been around for thousands of years in mankind. So it's interesting because if you remember the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, it all comes back to thousands of years, of us going through all these new and different things, the things that we did 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and how we thought, and how the world was back then, and depending on where you were in the world. And that's why I keep saying that growing up in Bolivia, back there in those times, that I feel like a time traveler because of all the things that have been going on around the world, and everything keeps changing. But you yourself and you are the one who sees everything and can change things and can help other people. So.
And how is event management?
Oh, I think the management of the current company is excellent because they're growing. They want to bring 11 clinics in the DFW area, the Dallas-Fort area, Fort Worth area is millions of people, so we'll be helping a lot more people. So that's my job-wise.
So what are the changes that you are observing in the process of your work?
Well, it's that I have to work on it too. It's not something that's out there, but it's something that you have to work on it every day within yourself, so that you can be nice to other people and people around you are good to be with, and there's not hate, there's not all this negative stuff around you where you're being in a bad mood or being in a bad state of mind where everybody tries to cut you down or something like that, but it's thinking positively, doing the right thing, and helping other people around. Go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
No. Just reiterating that you need to be a good person yourself, so that other people around you can also be good to themselves and good to you. So you don't want to be around everybody negativity every day or bad working environment, that kind of thing.
So now you have come into the internet. Now you are trying to put the word out about the work and the service that you are providing. So how is this?
Well, the thing is, so I'm trying to think of for the internet with my stuff, and now I want to get into video and short videos like on YouTube or Shorts or TikToks. I'm not quite sure, on Instagram or Threads or something like that, or Facebook. But I want to create some short videos on my experiences and how it will help other people. So I've been through things, decades of other stuff, and, growing up with that mentality that it's a world. It's the world around us. It's different cultures from around the world. So it's not just about USA, but it's not just about China. It's not about Russia. It's about the whole world, and how can we make this a better place to live in.
So what are the changes that you want to do with Mark the Spammer?
That's what I just mentioned, is that I want to create little snippets of videos and talk about my experiences, but how I can help others with their experiences. So I talked to a younger generation and was like, okay, yes, I've done that before, and maybe this might be a better suggestion, and this might work out better. So maybe from my experience, I can definitely help other people. So, and as I mentioned, growing up in Bolivia, I went to the American school there, but we had people from all over the world. We had Germans, we had people from Taiwan before it was Red China, so we had Japanese, we had everything in our society. So we learned how to live together. So I remember back in high school, I was the first one to try acupuncture from the people from Taiwan, traditional Chinese medicine, and how I had acupuncture done in the 1970s. And it was like, oh my gosh, how it can help you with your headaches, because I used to be too hot with bad headaches, and how acupuncture was like, wow, how that could help you. And that's, in Miami, we had Ayurveda supermarkets, of all the foods and all the herbs that we can take now, that are good for you. And it's not just something that you do, that's just been around for like the last 5 years or 1 year, but it's been around thousands of years. So there's history behind it.
So humans from different countries who are coming from different places, are they same?
In the essence, I believe there's different things that we do differently, and we might think differently, but I would assume, and I would like to say that yes, there's a human essence that we all have, and that we're generally speaking good. So, and that you want to do good with your family, that you have immediate friends, those kind of things. So I think around the world, that's what people want. So I think there's a good essence to a human being. To being a human being, it's a good thing.
So humans from different places and different parts of the world coming with different experiences.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Yes.
How is that?
Well, I mean, like I said, I mentioned growing up in Bolivia, we did everything differently because we grew up, I would speak Spanish to the maids, but speak English to my parents. But my father was born there, so he spoke Spanish first, and then having different languages, because I think I went to the kindergarten in Spanish first before I went to a kindergarten in English first. So you learn the different cultures and you see different people and those kind of things, and they did things differently. But then we came up with a hybrid, like Gringo, American done Bolivian. Our foods were from different worlds. We had the Chinese food back in the 70s. We had all these different kinds of food. We would see the Japanese food, we would see Chinese food. So it was just a mix mash of all the cultures, all the foods, all the different things that you would grow up with. So we lived in a multicultural world, and that was Bolivia, So that's why I find it so interesting now. I look back and say, hey, it's very good. It's aggressive, because nowadays everybody grows up with all the different things going on around the world. Everybody's different, So it's good.
And in which you are specialized in?
Well, I just from my experience, my thing has been like in the last decade or two has been into the whole fitness, wellness, that part of it, the spa world, now more medical world, and how to keep people healthy, how to keep people within the wellness umbrella so we go on and flourish. So we move forward, not staying back and being in negativity, being in a bad situation. But that's more what we need around the world is, we all have problems, personal, big problems around the world with global warming and all these other things that are happening. But how can we still live a good daily life, but be conscious and conscientious of others around the world that don't have it as good as you? So,
how much time you take to give the therapy for anyone?
Oh, I do massage therapy myself, but that's just on the one-to-one basis. But just it's an all-day thing. It's an everyday thing. I talk to people at Starbucks. I go everywhere I'm going, and it's just talking with kindness. That you're doing good things for other people. Just being a nice person, Just being a quote-unquote nice person.
So what is the best compliment that you got?
Oh, interesting. I can't think of anything right now. I can't think of anything right this minute, but I'm just like, oh, he's very nice. He's very popular. He's a pleasant person to talk to. It's always positive things that you get from people that I can talk to people and they like me and that kind of thing. So you get along well, like a public relations person, to get along well and being able to transmute, if you want, to talking to different people that, hey, I give good thoughts to you, you give good thoughts back to me, you know? So,
So how can you be a good communicator, good people's person?
Continuously and all the time is thinking, what can you do for other people? How can you assist other people? How can you help other people? So it's not just about me, as in Mark the Spa Man, but it's how can I help someone today? You know, from my experience in the past, growing up in Bolivia in the 1960s, 70s, that kind of stuff, 80s, being in here in the United States and living in New York City for 7 years, the whole thing. So how can you, on a daily, individual person, how can you be a nice person? How can you give something back with all this information? How do you promote goodness, you know? But on an individual basis, because I'm not a president of something. I don't have like thousands of people working for me, you know, that kind of thing. I'm not Instagram famous yet. But how do you go on an individual person giving things back, you know, returning back to society?
So there must be strong reasons and strong qualities in you which will be making you to be successful in your profession. What is that?
Yeah, interesting question. I think it's just, oh wow, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is parents teaching you correctly how to give back to others and not being so self-absorbed. Being so involved in yourself, but how to give back of yourself. So I think that comes from your upbringing, from your parents and your family members and other people that work with, that grew up with you, and thinking, you know, a good upbringing, I guess you could say that, but I don't know how exactly to define a good upbringing or basic ideas or basic human characteristics.
And what is your motivation? What is that force that is pushing you to wake up in the morning every day and do this?
Yeah, interesting. That's another great question. But it's just, I think I've been so lucky, and growing up in Bolivia, having all the experiences, and now what can I do to give back? How can I help others? And doing the same thing, people who were not as lucky as I was. So I just feel like I've got to get back, and with gratitude, and I have my whole little kit back here with my Buddha and everything like that, and how to give back to other people by sharing my experiences, and how can I help others? So it's not just about me, but how to return the gifts.
So talking with different age group people who belongs to completely different industries and who are 50 or 60 or 20s to 30s. So you communicating with them, how is that as a community relationship manager?
Okay, with the community, my current job as a community relationship manager, I talk to people who are older, obviously, but I can go to Starbucks, and right next door this morning I was talking to a student. So he's 20-something, and you relate to them as in things that are going on now, because at Starbucks they have big tables, and I was sitting there reading with paper and my highlighter and that kind of stuff, and the student that I was talking to, he had three: one laptop, one tablet, and then his cell phone. And I said, "Oh, I think you need a fourth phone. You need to get 2 phones, 2 laptops, and a tablet. So he says, in his mind, he learns better by reading a tablet and highlighting a tablet. And I'm like, wow, that's the complete opposite of what I do, which I still print and I still highlight, but in a book, in the physical world. So that's how I learn better, but he learns better by reading the tablet. So it's just differences in say, it's differences in our age groups, different way we communicate. That generation communicates via short little attention span videos. And watching everything on, you sit at a table and you have everything set up on the table with your laptop, with your tablet, with your 2 phones. It's crazy. But that's just the differences in the world today. So just understanding and being able to communicate with different people from around the world and
what's your purpose of your life?
Well, I think we just mentioned that. It's like to give back. How can I give back? How can I learn by gratitude and all the things that we had? And like I keep mentioning, is I grew up in Bolivia. The whole thing is just all this different world view. It's not just eccentric only for me. That's only in my little world, one little city. But it's how the world mentality. So it's about all the different religions. It's about all the different wellness practice, all the Ayurveda, the Chinese medicine, how to understand it all. But each, on an individual person level, how to communicate and how to best get along with each other. The world is big, but if we don't watch it, our world could disappear, So that's why global warming and all those things are very important, because we have to work together. So with India, with China, the United States, and Russia, all these big players, and everybody's going in their separate ways, that's not good.
And what is the challenging problem that you have solved in your job?
Interesting. I guess right now it's just there's so many different systems that we have to relearn in the computer this or computer that, software for this, software for that. But in the end, at the end of the day, it'll be just me talking to people and communicating. But right now my current challenge is to learn all these new software things that I have to work on. But I know that I can talk to people, and I know that it's one-on-one like we're doing now, but it could be online. But I will be able to talk to people in person, because I still have to go physically and talk to people.
So what do you say as a people's person? What do you say about these softwares which are connecting humans from everywhere on this planet? People today are globally connected with these devices and these internet system. What is your observation?
Well, obviously, there's just so much and so much. Before, in the beginning, it was just Google and Twitter, those kind of things before. But now they keep evolving. There's so many different social media things that all have to be there. But it's the way people communicate now, and I make sure that you understand it, because at one point you need to turn it off so you can have your personal space of quietness. So it can be there, but you don't need to be on 24 hours a day. But I highly agree that we need to use them in all the different ways of communicating. That they're here. And I would definitely use them, but we need to also make sure that we know how to turn it off, and that we talk to people on a regular basis in front of each other, and not necessarily just only on the computer. So we do need some intimacy. We do need some, physical reality, because we are physical beings. So it's a good thing, but we need to learn how to use it correctly and best for our health.
And as a person who is into health and wellness, how do you define this virtual world and real world?
Well, the virtual world, it's very interesting because I did electrical muscle stimulation suit, working out with that, but I like to go into the virtual world because there's now, here in Dallas, there's now a virtual fitness club, but I haven't gone there yet. And then, of course, with my friend of mine already has the goggles for VR, so that's the way things are going to be happening. That's the way we need to work on it. So, but the thing is, like I mentioned, we still need to be here in the physical world and not live completely in that world. Because you still have to eat, you still have to do the things that you do, our bodily functions are still here in the physical world. And I just think the augmented reality, using AI is excellent. It's, that's what's going to happen in the next year, the next 5 years. So we're all going to have our Google, our Facebook, or even Apple, things of our face, but we still need to live in the world, and we still need to eat, for example, those kind of things, so we have to survive in both worlds.
And what do you say about digital media and also social media presence?
Well, of course, definitely, whether you like it or not, we need to be on there, and whether you like it or not, your information is on there. So anything you do on Facebook, you know that Facebook knows about you because all that stuff is recorded. When you do a Google search and everything, you know where everything is. For example, I have a new car from last year, and it knows where I'm at. If I pull up my phone, it knows where my car is at. Everything is known. So, and there's I guess you have to realize that privacy is very, everybody knows everything about everybody else, but I'm not worried about it, but that's modern reality. Because you'll be watching everywhere you go, and you still have to use it, you still have to be on social media, but see how to do it for the better, for being nice. I'm not going to be evil online and do bad things and say bad things about people because it's going to be there, So still use it in a positive way in everything we do.
So you are trying to solve problems of people who are in the physical problems, also the mental problems. So what do you say to the people from anywhere who are listening and watching this conversation from anywhere in this world?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's do good, gratitude, all those wonderful human qualities that we have, and how to help yourself, but also help others, your family members, other people who don't have it as good as you and have it as good as us here. So be with compassion. The Dalai Lama always used the word compassion, for all sentient beings. So how to continuously do that, but for your personal self, and then as your family, as your friends, as your place of employment, that kind of thing. So, as I said, look at it from all the way from a small perspective, all the way to a big perspective around the world.
So, you are a people's person, and you understand the intelligence of human being. You observe the intelligence of a human being. Now, we as a human beings, as a technology experts, we are working on artificial intelligence. So what qualities or what suggestions or what advices you want to give to those experts which will help really to be communicative with the actual human beings?
Yeah. We have 5 minutes before the machine goes. But yes, it needs to be, you still need to pay attention to the real world, but we still need to pay attention to what's happening around the world and how to do it in a nice way. So we must keep moving forward, but still remember that we still need to be our human spirit. We still have a human body, and how to work with our personal selves and how to work with our parents, our siblings, those kind of things.
So, at last, what do you want to say to my audience about the service that you're providing?
Well, to me, it's just about the individual person and how to communicate best and how to work with gratitude to giving back around the world. By an individual, on a family level, on a city level, or a country level, how to give back and work together to solve Earth problems.
So at last, one last observation as a person who is into medical thing and also as a person who is into fitness and wellness and well-being. What is your observation about my work? Have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube?
Oh, I know, very interesting, because I know you like to communicate and you're doing very well and you're doing it with a young mentality, that kind of thing. So I think it's excellent. And how you're going around the world picking out and visiting with different people and bringing things together. So it's a huge world out there, and you're doing excellent work by bringing things together by all the different countries in the world and, all the different kinds of people in the world. So bringing everything together, so it's great.
So how this is going to helpful for me and going to impact my health and my career, because I have done Masters in Software Engineering, also Bachelors in Computer Science and Engineering. This is the project that I have picked up and taking interviews of experts from all around the world, from technology to NASA, people who worked in NASA space technology, also people who are into film industry, like all kinds of people from all places in the world.
Yeah.
So how this is going to help me as a person?
Well, you'll be growing internally, with the spiritual mind, the physical mind, the physical body. So you'll be growing, and you'll be able to have good relationships with your significant others. You'll have a good family, those kind of things. So it all helps, I think, and individually, but then you have the whole world out there. So it's meshing the two worlds together, which is great, but keeping yourself up to date and keep moving forward in this experience or this game called life.
That's a great observation. Thank you very much, Mark. Can you spell your online presence to my podcast listeners so that they can see the work that you're doing?
So it's Mark the Spa Man altogether, and I'm mostly on Twitter, but I need to reinvent myself into doing videos and redoing my mini website and see how else to expand the video world and how best to expand with the your own content creation, but to give back,
Definitely. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel?
Of course.
Permission?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Thank
no
you
worries.
for your time.
Thank you. And have a good day, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you somewhere on the worldwide internet, maybe somewhere soon.
Thank you very much.
Virtually or in person,
Definitely. One day, sir.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.